So today we're just going to look real quick at how to boot fit someone. So everyone across the company is doing it the same way every time. If you're watching at home and you don't work here, you can still learn how to size a boot the right way by watching this video. Eric, can you jump up to the top? Basically we have people kick off both shoes every time. The CETUS device will measure both feet at the same time. If not, you can use a regular Brannick device and measure both feet. Don't cut the corner and assume both feet are the same size. And then I have him stand up and weight on it. If you see it here, Eric, he measures just over the size of a 24.5. And then I would do the same with the second. Do both feet every time. For brevity, we're not going to do it right now. The next thing we always do is shell fit. I want to talk a little bit about how boots are supposed to fit. He measured just over 24.5. This is a 24.5 boot. You also can look up sizing charts online. There's a million different sizing charts. They're very off. So I wouldn't recommend going by a sizing chart. Sizing chart can help you get around the right mondo size, but then you should almost always err on the side of downsizing a customer just slightly. Never upsizing from a Brannick or a sizing chart. And it's our job as the boot fitter to convince people to go in the right boot. At Cripple Creek, we have a 100% fit guarantee. And people take us up on that and exchange a boot for a different boot about 10 times a year. And that's after about 2,000 boots sold. So it happens very seldomly. 9 of those 10 will be because we put somebody in a boot too big. So it's your job to tell people to go in the right size boot. After I figure out around what the size boot is, I come out, I'll have a conversation with Eric. Do you like a tight fit or a performance fit?
Performance.
So if he likes a performance fit, you're already thinking, performance or a comfort fit. You're already thinking again downsizing. What will really help at this point is telling a customer about how a boot should feel. You can really front load them with a lot of information. If I was putting a Hoji on them, I would tell them that the ankles are gonna feel tight. I would also say, no one's ever put this boot on before. This boot's gonna feel tight. Other things I like to inform people of. There's absolutely no difference in a Scarpa between a 24.5 and a 25. They're really the only boot company that works like that. If it's one of these other companies, there's no difference in a Dynafit between a 24.5 and a 24. Tell someone that up front. We only size boots on the whole size because every boot is the same between that half size. So don't waste your time. Don't waste the customer's time ever trying out a 24.5 and then trying a 25 because it's gonna fit the same, especially after a heat mold. I like to also tell them that in general, adding a custom footbed and a heat mold will take care of 95% of everybody's problem. So have confidence that the process works. So again, after I front loaded Eric with that information, I've sized his foot. I'm gonna do a quick shell fit. The shell fit, we say 2-finger tightness. I have him go over, I just put his toes to the very front of the boot, not squished at all. And then I have him flex forward and I put my hand behind to feel. I can tell that boot's too big on Eric. It's over 2 fingers right now, which is why Eric likes the downsize. You can use a fit stick. Again, on a fit stick, there's 2 ways to use it. You can see how big 2 fingers would be. 2 fingers is bigger in a fit stick as long ways. A performance fit would be sideways, the narrow way in there. So this boot's way too big if I can comfortably get two behind it. But anyways, this is why, what's your normal size?
24.5 Technica.
So in a Scarpa, you'd probably go down to 24. Yeah. So step
Scarpa
out of it.
Telly on a 24.
So after we determine it's right around the right size, I'm gonna put the boot back in the shell. And then I'm gonna help him put the boot on his foot. So he's gonna step in. You can pull up on that back tag. So he's in there now. You buckle the boot up for the customer each time. The last thing is, describing the customer, or in this case Eric, how the boot should fit. While Eric is up there relaxed in the boot, he should feel his toes up against the front. you know, this boot, like we said, is maybe a little big, so he doesn't feel it right there. And if you tell a customer before they step in the boot that their toes against the front is how a boot should fit, when you put in ski mode and you flex that knee forward into the position you'd be skiing, your toes should move away from the front. Is that what you feel?
I don't really feel the front.
So this boot's a little too big. But once they flex forward, they're gonna feel that. What nobody should ever be doing is having a customer take a non-skiing motion with the boot. I don't know why I have to say it, but it's come up enough times that people start trying to guess their own way of how to boot fit. I've seen people being like, yeah, try to lift your heel. Tell me how much heel lift you get. Try to put your foot way forward. None of that. You should never tell a customer to do anything but flex a boot the way they should be skiing. And that's with, you know, their hips forward, their knees forward over their toes. That flex motion is what we're measuring for. The rest is going to come out with a heat mold. So again, no reason to bring anyone's attention to a heel lift. No reason to bring attention to like a super long walking stride. We're keeping it very simple. We're front loading the customer with information, and we're trying to size a boot the same way for every customer every time. Always erring on the side of slightly downsizing over slightly upsizing. It's your job as the boot fitter to put them in the correct boot, not the most comfortable boot right out of the box. So don't give in to those half sizes, and definitely don't give in to upsizing because they feel like it's too tight. That will always create more issues for the customer and you as the boot fitter in the long run.